Hey, welcome to Jace Live at 5. Hopefully, we can get some people coming in. Super sorry. I apologize about the technical difficulties. All that's been going on. Yeah. If we can get some people in, it'd be nice. If not, it's fine. I get it. Technology, man. Technology. And not being able to have it to work the way that you want to is very frustrating. I hate technology sometimes because the things that you want it to do, it just doesn't do. And but yeah, we're here. Marvel San Diego Comic Con is next Saturday. It's gonna be a big event. It's gonna be big from the talks of what we're hearing. We were getting a lot of Marvel news today. We know that the Russo brothers are in talks to come back for Avengers 5 and 6. So that's pretty cool. Marvel is also did a schedule for San Diego Comic Con as well. So yeah, just a very big hype factor around San Diego Comic Con for Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios also announced that there's going to be two panels. So there's going to be one dedicated to Deadpool and Wolverine, and then there's going to be another one dedicated to just what we usually get with Marvel announcements and stuff like that at Hall H. Yeah, with that being said, we're going to go into some predictions. So if there's anyone in the chat right now who has any predictions, any possible projects that we might see, things of that nature, definitely leave them down below. Let's chat about it. Let's discuss. I'm waiting for people to come in. Maybe they'll come in. I don't know. Maybe because I've screwed up the stream so many times. Maybe no one's gonna show up. I don't know anymore. I'm just kind of. It kind of got me a little frustrated, and I gotta calm down because I'm not gonna lie, it did kind of frustrate me because I had it prepared, like I had it prepared and ready and scheduled and everything for it to be exactly at 5. But I mean, J Slide at 5 is still a thing. I mean, it's 5:26, so we're still here. I don't know if anybody is here though. It doesn't look like it, sadly. So yeah, maybe some people will come in. I don't know. Maybe someone will come in. I'm just kind of disappointed right now. But I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm going to try to let people know again while I'm here because, again, nobody is here right now anyway, so it doesn't matter. If someone does pop in, it's nice. If they don't, I get it. Like, I just got to be faithful about this. I had some technical difficulties. But it doesn't seem like anyone is showing up, so it doesn't even matter. I don't even know why I'm even doing this anyway to begin with. What's up, Marvel fan? Sorry, I'm kind of in a little bit of uh, I'm kind of in a little annoyed mood right now because I'm annoyed right now because I had the stream set up. I had it scheduled way before time. I had things ready and prepared and all this. And it's technology. It's technology sometimes. And you know how technology is. It does things like the live stream I was getting set up for it exactly at 5 o'clock. And then like the stream just automatically went and like did its own thing anyway. And I'm like, no, I don't want it to go live yet. It just went live on its own. And then the camera angle wasn't at the right thing that you guys know I usually do it at landscape. It was vertical. So I had to redo the stream again. I redid the stream again. It still wasn't on the right camera angle. So I had to redo it again. And yeah, I'm kind of annoyed right now. Because I had it set up and I had it exact time that I wanted this to come out. So yeah, I'm sorry for the whole rant, but we're gonna get into San Diego Comic Con because that's what we're here for. That's what you guys are here for, and so yeah, let's get into it. Uh, Also, yeah, it's not your fault about the stream. These things happen, but yeah, you got it up. So let's talk about San Diego Comic Con. Yes, let's talk about it. So it's next week. And it's a pretty big week next week. We got San Diego Comic Con, we got Deadpool and Wolverine premiering, which, guys, by the way, I will be doing a Deadpool and Wolverine live stream on that Wednesday for Jace Live at 5. Just kind of getting you guys even more hyped up about the film. And if you guys have any more final thoughts before we all go tune into the movie. But yeah, let's see. We got San Diego Comic Con. We know that there's going to be 2 panels. We got one for Deadpool and Wolverine that's going to be Thursday night. And then we have one, obviously, for Saturday night for the Hall H announcements. So, Marvel fan, you said, I also hope that they announce Moon Knight Season 2 because I really want that to happen. I agree. I hope Moon Knight Season 2 is something that happens. I think Moon Knight Season 2 had so much potential, and I feel like the first season I feel like this first season needed more time to explore that. Like if Moon Knight was like 10 to 12 episodes or maybe 12 episodes to 14 episodes, I think we could have got a lot more substance with Moon Knight as a whole and his split personalities because he has like 4 or 5 personalities. So it would have been really cool to just had more time. So if they do a season 2, I feel like we need to get more time with this character because like I said, I'm a big fan of Moon Knight. I like the show. The show did have some flaws, yes, but it's not the worst MCU show, and it's definitely not the best. But I'm just saying, like, I enjoyed it for what it was. And Oscar Isaac, I mean, Oscar Isaac is a very talented actor, so it would just be cool to see him back in that role again as Jake Lockley, exploring that side. And he's in New York now, so he's where all the other Marvel heroes are. So there's some things that they could do with that, with Moon Knight and some other characters throughout New York. So yeah, that would be cool. I'm hoping for Doctor Strange 3. I would love to see Doctor Strange have another movie. I know people talk about Multiverse of Madness, and the thing that I feel like with Multiverse of Madness is I feel like because that was right after Spider-Man No Way Home. So, everybody thought that Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was going to be this big, multiverse cameo event for the MCU. And now we're seeing that's not the case because now it seems like Marvel may be tracking back on the whole multiverse thing. They're still doing the multiverse, but it seems like they're gonna pull back certain things of the multiverse. I don't know. We'll have to see next Saturday, what they do. But, you know, as far as like, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, I feel like it wasn't a Doctor Strange movie. It felt more like WandaVision Part 2. So, like I said, ultimately, like, I like Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. I think that's excellent casting, but I just wish we would have had him. This would have been another movie about him. So Doctor Strange 3 needs to be a movie about him and a journey that he goes on and that sort of thing. Let's see, what did you say, Marvel fan? Also, I can't wait for Deadpool Wolverine. I'm so hyped. I'm hyped about it too. I'm very hyped about the movie. I've been doing a countdown. I've been watching every single notification come to my phone about Deadpool and Wolverine. The marketing for the film is just going crazy. I mean, we got the little tease of Lady Deadpool yesterday. Let me know what you guys think. You know who Lady Deadpool is. I think it might be Blake Lively. I think it might be Ryan Reynolds' wife. I think that would be pretty cool. also as a little joke. But there's also people online who are like, it would be funny if it was Ryan Reynolds in a wig, and that would be funny. So we'll have to see who Lady Deadpool is. Let's see. I hope they drop some sort of little teaser for Fantastic Four. That would be cool. I also had this idea that the Fantastic Four could maybe show up in the Fantastic Four costumes. I know they've started filming Fantastic Four, but I think it would be really cool for them to come out in San Diego Comic Con with the Fantastic Four costumes on. I think that would be really cool. You don't see that. You see it, but you don't see it as often at those kind of events, I would imagine. But maybe you do. I haven't been to San Diego Comic Con. It's on my list of places to go. List of events to go to. Let's see. I commented on one of your videos. I wasn't. If it wasn't for you replying, I would not have known this stream would be happening. Was happening. I think that would be cool too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that you came in. Usually I have more people to come in, um, but it's fine. Like I said, the whole stream messed up and all that sort of thing. So I get it. I get it. And I get that, all the people that go, tune into my animated stuff, they don't care too much about this stuff on this channel, which I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing this for me because I enjoy talking about this stuff as well. I don't want to be known as the guy who just talks animation stuff all the time. I want to branch out and talk more things because I'm interested in more things than just cartoons. Um, so yeah, but yeah, like I said, that would be really cool to see Fantastic Four come out in their costumes. Um, I wonder what they're gonna do with Avengers 5. I wonder what they're gonna do with that film. I wonder what other projects we may have heard of that we may get announcements of. I've heard something about a Nova movie or something. That would be cool. As far as who could play Nova, I don't know, but it would be cool to see Nova come in. It would be cool to, get that Midnight Suns project greenlit. I know we're still waiting on Blade, but Moon Knight. We already got Moon Knight. We already got Blade. We already know Ghost Rider is going to be coming down the road. It would be cool to build up the Midnight Suns in that more horror supernatural side of the MCU, because that's definitely one of the sides of the MCU that I'm very interested in. So I would love to see that. Also, Werewolf by Night, which I love Werewolf by Night. I don't understand why people don't talk about that project much, but I really enjoyed Werewolf by Night for what it was. I heard a Nova special. Fun fact: it's been rumored ever since like Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Interesting. Interesting. I did not know that. I knew there was like you said, like a rumor. It had been rumored for a while about a Nova special presentation or something. If Marvel still does special presentations, I'm pretty sure they do. Cause we got the special presentation with Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, then Werewolf by Night. Was there anything else that was like a special presentation? Cause I don't think there was, at least not to my memory. But I know those two were like special presentations that we got. I hope we get an update for Blade. I do too. I hope we get an update for Blade too, because, you know, Blade has just been in a very, position where it's like, oh, they're filming. Oh, they're not filming. Oh, the director left. Oh, the other director left. Oh, the writer left. So I hope that they get Blade right. I'm not worried about what people say online about, oh, this movie's never gonna come out, or this and that, because people always say stuff like that. It's just kind of like, if they want to get the movie right, let them get the movie right. It doesn't matter how long they have to take. People at like revisions and stuff like that with movies is something brand new that they just started. This has been something that Hollywood has done since the beginning of time. It's just that it was never really known unless you were working in the industry or working behind the scenes or someone behind the scenes told you what was going on. But now it's like everybody knows everything about a movie before it comes out. And that's kind of something else that I don't like about modern day society is that, in the industry, a movie could be like a certain surprise could be, in the movie for a surprise thing because, you want to have those theatrical moments in the theater. It'll get spoiled by some scooper or some person behind a weird avatar account on Twitter, by some weird cryptic name, about so and so is in this movie, so and so is going to reprise their role in this, and I'm like, dang it would have been nice if I would have went to the movies to actually have seen, the surprise without you telling me. Like, I don't need you to tell me who's gonna be in the movie. I don't need you to tell me what happens in the movie. That's what I spend my money for. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, they're putting a lot of new categories like Marvel TV, Marvel Spotlight, Marvel Animation, and another one I think I forgot. Yeah, there's Marvel Studios, Marvel Animation, Marvel Television, Marvel Comics. They're doing a whole rebranding. They're making all their branding onto one single landscape. I've noticed that as well. I think we only got two special presentations. I feel like I'm forgetting one, but I don't think there's another one. Yeah, I think it's just Werewolf by Night and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which both of those I enjoyed both of those for what they were. The Holiday Special I enjoyed. That was fun watching around the holidays. And then Werewolf by Night, like, come on, like, Werewolf by Night was like a horror film, like a 1930s Universal horror film in the MCU. And like I said, I hate that project doesn't get talked about much by the Marvel community, but I really enjoy Werewolf by Night. I have another prediction for SDCC too. Um, that rumored X-Men movie. I feel like that rumored X-Men movie is what they're going to close the show out with. And the reason why I say that is because this has been rumored for a while. They've been saying that they got a writer for this movie, things like that. So, it would be cool to finally get an announcement of the MCU X-Men movie. As far as the casting, that's something that they'll have to figure out down the line, but just the announcement alone would be cool. Also, speaking of, I don't think we were able to ever really talk about it, but I also want to hear your guys' thoughts on the Captain America Brave New World trailer as well, because I thought it was really good. And I'm looking forward to Sam Wilson as Captain America. Um, and I know there's people saying, "Oh, he's not my Captain America." Oh, Steve Rogers is my Captain America, and I'm like, okay, well, if Steve Rogers is your Captain America, that's fine, but you don't always have to bring it up every single time Sam is either in a new comic book or he's in a new movie or he gets a TV show. You don't always need to bring it up. If Steve Rogers is who you rock with as Captain America, that's fine, but don't always have to feel like you need to bring it up. That's like when people always have to bring up, oh, Peter Parker is the Spider-Man. Like, okay, yeah, he's the original Spider-Man, yes, but he's not the only Spider-Man. Let's see. Yeah, I heard we might get a Nova special and a Mephisto special. I heard that too. I did hear some plans about Mephisto, and there was like one plan, something about Ironheart, something to do with Ironheart, and it was about him taking over Avengers Tower, something of the matter like that. It was so long ago since I heard that rumor, but it'll be interesting to see Mephisto in the MCU because everybody's been theorizing since WandaVision. Oh, is this Mephisto? Oh, Mephisto's behind this. So to finally see Mephisto, it would finally get people to, you know, simmer down on that whole thing. I heard they might show a teaser for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. They might. That would be cool. But if not, I definitely see it at D23 since if you guys have checked out my video on the JaceTV channel, I did a video recently talking about Marvel Animation being huge at D23. People are questioning if Marvel Studios is going to be at D23. I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige is going to let people know if they're going to be at D23. More than likely, they are going to be at D23 because they're probably going to give us some Daredevil Born Again stuff and maybe some more shows that we could be expecting along the way. So we'll have to see, but that's that. Let's see. Continue on. I mean, I agree. I mean, look, I don't like Falcon as Captain America more than Steve Rogers, but he is Captain America right now. He does make a really good Captain America. Checks all the boxes. Yeah. I mean, if there's anyone who's been around Steve Rogers long enough, well, probably one or two people. But one of them is Sam. I mean, yeah, one of them is Sam because, they met in Winter Soldier and they hit it off really well. I mean, Steve Rogers was running around while Sam was pretty much jogging as well, but not at the speed that Steve was going because Steve has the super soldier serum. And then, we get into the character development, and they do have character development through Winter Soldier and things like that. So I understand why Steve gave it to Sam, and rightfully so. Um, and I feel like, people, there's always going to be people, anytime there's a character like, like Steve, or a character like Sam, and they take over. It's kind of like, oh, now they're just trying to check all the boxes. It's the woke agenda again, and it's like, this is what happens in the comics. Like, Sam is a Captain America in the comics. Isaiah Bradley is a Captain America in the comics. So when people say stuff like that, it's kind of like they want to be ignorant just for the fact to be ignorant when it comes to the history of these characters. And like I said, everybody's everybody's gonna have a different opinion on Captain America, who is Captain America, and what Captain America represents, and that's fine. But I think it's cool that we have different Captain Americas. I think it's cool that we have different Spider-Men and Spider-Women. Like, I never really had an issue with that. Because at the end of the day, these are all fictional characters. I do like him as Captain America, not just as much as Steve, because to me, Steve is Captain America. But like you said, he's not the only Captain America. Yeah, and like I said, like there's nothing wrong with Steve being the definitive Captain America in in your eyes or other people's eyes, because there's some people out there who feel like Sam is their Captain America, um, and I think that's cool. To have all these iterations of one character, but someone can relate to, Steve Rogers, someone can relate to Sam, someone can relate to Isaiah Bradley, someone can relate to, Patriot, or the other Captain America, you know, characters that are out there. I'm sure there's more, but um, I just think that's really cool. And maybe we'll get some news on Captain America: Brave New World. I'm still curious on who Giancarlo Esposito's character is going to be. He said in an interview no one has guessed yet who his character is. I know there's people saying that he may be George Washington Bridge, who has ties to the X-Force but also S.H.I.E.L.D. So, I mean, that would be cool. I mean, that would be a way to set up X-Men down the line if they want to with him, and that sort of thing. He could be someone else. We saw the leader as well for like a little quick shot. He had like a hat on to cover that big dome he has, the big head of his, but we saw him. I actually heard a theory that it's actually an original character. Ooh, that could, you know what? That would be cool. If that's an original character, I'm kind of cool with that because this original character might actually have some weight to him, especially with Giancarlo Esposito playing him. Like, come on, like Giancarlo Esposito, like what are we talking about? Like the household name. He's an all-star. He's a legend. So, um, any character that he's playing, I'm cool with. I automatically didn't know he would be in Captain America: Brave New World at first, because I thought like he would play like Norman Osborn in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, because the character model looked like Giancarlo Esposito. But now that we know he's going to be playing a character in Captain America, and we've seen it in the trailer, and he could be George Washington Bridge, like you said, could be an original character. I'm just looking forward to what exactly his character is going to do. Um, so yeah, I have a theory. I don't know if I already said it. It's about the reshoot. Okay. What was your theory about the reshoot? You probably said it before. It's just been a little bit. It has been a little bit since we talked about anything Marvel related. We talked about DC last stream, but it's been a little bit. I kind of want to look up like articles on what other predictions people have, but I kind of don't want to because I know there's some leaks of stuff and stuff that I've heard going around, so I don't want to. I want to be surprised on Saturday, and then I'm going to do a live stream on probably that Sunday, kind of going over all the stuff at San Diego Comic-Con that we got. I think that would be pretty cool. I probably won't do trailer reactions. I mean, I could, but I probably won't because I'll probably be with a group of people and we'll probably be excited and just checking out all the news and just getting hyped about it. So, yeah. Let's see. My theory is that Red Hulk, reshoots for Red Hulk. I think because there was a leak for Red Hulk, and that little glimpse that we see in the trailer looks nothing like in the leak. Don't even get me started. It looks so bad, but the whole body structure and what I saw from the trailer looks way different to me. And I think it's because of the Red Hulk. It could be. It could be like maybe, and you know what's funny about that is that even people I see complaining now about Red Hulk. There's people complaining now about Red Hulk in the trailer, saying that his legs are too skinny or whatever. And I'm like, my goodness, like, do people ever like have anything good or positive to say anymore? It feels like people are like very negative nowadays about things, and it's okay to have an opinion and be critical, but I feel like there's some people who are like they have to nitpick and find something. Like there were people saying, "Oh, that's not Red Hulk because the color, his nail color," and I'm like, and this is kind of like another point that maybe I can get into another time. I feel like there's some people who want comic accuracy down to a T, and I feel like not everything needs to be comic accurate. Yes, things would be nice to have some familiar beats to them in the comics, yes, but I don't think every single MCU project or every single Marvel project needs to be comic accurate. Comic accurate costumes and all of that. Because sometimes I feel like in those moments, sometimes we don't appreciate even the comic accurate things. Sometimes. Also, I'm just happy because this Red Hulk looks good. The leak, it's so bad, looking a lot like Red Bigfoot. That's funny. I have not seen the leak for that. I've been staying away from leaks. I'm not someone who like goes into looking for leaks. Sometimes I'll stumble across it on accident. And I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't see that. But I'm gonna take your word for it for the leak that you saw that it didn't look good. And if they decide to go and redo all the, shots of Red Hulk, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because Marvel wants to get back into a position, in a lot of people's eyes that people feel like, oh, there hasn't been anything good since Endgame. And you know how many times I've heard people say on the internet, oh, Marvel hasn't dropped anything good since Endgame. And I'm like, okay, well, Guardians of the Galaxy, Werewolf by Night, um, X-Men 97, there's a couple other shows. So are you saying that Marvel hasn't dropped anything good? But I'm like, I can list a good handful of shows and movies that Marvel has done that have been good. That, in my honest opinion, don't really need to be compared to Endgame because Endgame was its own separate event. Infinity War and Endgame is its own separate entity. Those movies are what I like to call big, like, they're big blockbuster films, in my honest opinion. Just like Avengers 5 and 6. That's why they're getting the Russo brothers back, because Marvel knows that these are going to be big blockbuster movies. They know people are gonna want to know, is Tobey Maguire gonna come through? Is Hugh Jackman gonna come through? What other variants and all these crossovers and cameos and people we haven't seen in a long time come back for these films. That's why they want to know, because Marvel knows, they know these things. So that's like how I feel about it. I accidentally saw the leak. I'm actually just happy that what it looks like now from the trailer is different. Yeah, yeah. I think Marvel dropped some bangers after Endgame. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, X-Men 97. I loved Hawkeye. I loved Moon Knight. Also, I like Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I did too. Werewolf by Night. Like, yeah, like Marvel has dropped some great shows. Spider-Man No Way Home and Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah, like they dropped some good stuff, but people just, again, like people are just so set in this mindset of being a follower and pretty much restating what some person on Twitter said about Marvel hasn't been the same since Endgame. And that's something else I want to debunk, because I've watched a good amount of the Marvel movies, before this whole big thing with Endgame and Infinity War came out, all of this, right? And a lot of people like to look at the MCU before those movies with rose tinted glasses, because there's some things that Marvel did even back then that were very, like, questionable, like Thor: The Dark World. Like, that movie is a snooze fest. I've tried watching that movie many times throughout trying to watch all the MCU movies, and I always seem to fall asleep on that movie specifically because it was just so boring. It's not an entertaining movie, and I feel like that movie didn't do Thor any more justice than it needed to. And we got Thor Ragnarok, which is cool. I mean, Thor Love and Thunder, I there were some things I would have done differently with Thor Love and Thunder. I just want to see Thor get back to, feeling like this, like, god, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like Thor is this, like, powerful being like he used to be, or what he is in the comics. So I would love to see them get back to that. And who knows, maybe another Thor movie's on the horizon. I think that would be cool, to announce. I really agree with you. I mean, people just focus on the bad and not the good. Exactly, they really do. Warning, not a lot of people are gonna agree with me, but I love Thor: Love and Thunder. And hey, like I said, like there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you love the movie, that's awesome. I would have done, like I said, I would have done things different personally, but I definitely understand why people love the movie. I definitely understand why people didn't like the movie. Um, and so, yeah, like I'm hoping that Thor can continue in the MCU and we see more stories with Thor. I think Chris Hemsworth has a lot more to prove with being Thor. And I think that reunion between him and Loki is when that happens. That is going to be a great moment just to see those two coming back and just Loki telling like I'm the god of stories. Like that would just be a really heartfelt moment just to see on screen those two interacting again. Um, and there's a lot of other heartfelt moments that we could get down the road, with Avengers 5 and Secret Wars and things like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the future of Marvel. I don't think Marvel is dead. I was never in that crowd of people who thought, oh, the MCU is dying, or is the MCU dead? Is the MCU far from returning to what they quote unquote call the glory days? Um, I want to ask you something. Do you have a hot take? I do have a hot take. As much as people glorify Iron Man, I don't think he's the best character in the MCU. I really don't. I think people give Iron Man too much credit. I think Iron Man has had a lot of very jerkish moments in the movies that kind of made him not likable. Robert Downey Jr., likable guy. But Iron Man, not really someone I've been like a liking to, and I've never really been liking to him in the comics either, because he's done some very egotistical, very jerkish, rich people moves that I just cannot like Iron Man personally. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. That's my hot take. I know people would throw pitchforks at me because, oh, how dare you say that about Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man? And listen, I'm not trying to down Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. He did a phenomenal job with Iron Man, all that. But just Iron Man as a character is never really someone I've had an interest in or an attachment to, as you could say. But like I said, his sacrifice in Endgame, really iconic moment in superhero media. I got emotional just seeing him make that sacrifice. Even for me, just not even being an Iron Man fan, it got me. But that's what's so great about cinema is that you can tell these stories, you can tell these compelling stories, and make people feel things that they wouldn't normally feel for a certain character. Um, but I always had I always had an interest in Captain America. Steve Rogers since the first movie. I feel like when we got that movie, like I didn't get a chance to see that one in theaters, but I did get to see it like on TV, and I was really interested in Captain America and the story that they told with that film. And then when Captain America, the Winter Soldier came out, I went to see that movie, and I was just so amazed. That is probably my favorite MC movie of all time because just seeing the fighting scenes that they did and the story, and I mean Scarlett Johansson with that straight haircut that she had, like my goodness, I loved that movie. That fight scene on the boat, one of the best fight scenes in Marvel, in my opinion. Um, and I think I heard that they did get the people who did the choreography and stuff, the fight scenes for those movies to do Brave New World, which I'm really looking forward to. And even in the trailer, you can see the influence of the Winter Soldier film in that trailer. So I hope it continues that vibe in the actual movie. But yeah, that's my take. I was always Team Cap. Was not Team Iron Man and Civil War. I did not agree with the whole Sokovia Accords. But I definitely agree with Cap and his whole theory and mindset behind why he didn't agree with the Sokovia Accords, which is gonna be interesting because it's kind of gonna be brought back up with like Kingpin and you know his whole ordeal with the Devil's Reign, Daredevil, all these like um, street level heroes. Like I'm really curious to see what his big game plan is going to be, and trying to stop these street level heroes and vigilantes, as he likes to call them. I got two hot takes. Okay, share them. I am here for hot takes. I am I'm someone who is here for hot takes. Like I have some hot takes that might get might definitely get some people like really upset. Avengers Age of Ultron is better than Avengers 1. Ooh, that's interesting. And you know what? I have heard people say that as well. And yeah, the first Avengers movie is, the first Avengers movie. Yeah, it's iconic. The whole scene where it pans around them. Yeah, that's a cool visual. Yes, but I could see why people say that the first Avengers movie, it's overrated. Um, and I definitely see it. Um, and I did like some things about Age of Ultron that were better, like the teasing of the Infinity Stones. Like that was the first time we really got the mention of the Infinity Stones. Like obviously we got the whole thing with Thanos before then, but that was like the first time we got like an actual talk of that. And then the whole teasing of Steve Rogers getting the Mjolnir and lifting it, like we got little glimpses of that, and then it paid off in Endgame. It's one of the most iconic scenes in Endgame. So, I I can see your point about Age of Ultron, and in some parts I do agree. Shang-Chi movie is overrated. Yeah, I enjoyed Shang-Chi, but I do feel like people kind of heighten the whole hype around Shang-Chi. And maybe it's because I'm not that much knowledgeable about Shang-Chi to really like understand. Like I know the whole 10 rings and the powers that be with that, but I'm not someone who's like had an interest in Shang-Chi. So I think for me personally, like the movies is cool, but I don't see the hype around it. I guess that's kind of my point. I got another two. Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man, and Miles Morales from the Spider-Verse is number two. You know, I have a friend who says the same thing, and I do agree. I feel like Andrew Garfield was the mix between being the cool Peter Parker in that era when he started to become sort of a more cool figure, but he also had that nerd side to him. He wasn't afraid to make quips and jokes. Not to say that Toby didn't do the same thing. And I may prefer Toby just a little bit more over Andrew. I will say Andrew was a better Spider Man just in the movement and how they made him maneuver and stuff in the movies. I do prefer Andrew's athleticism more in those films than I do Toby's, and also personality in some aspects too. And yeah, Miles Morales and Spider Verse, like yeah, I love the Spider Verse movies. I can talk about those movies all day, and just talk about the impact that those movies had on me. But as a Spider Man fan, and just kind of that first time of going into the theater and seeing Miles Morales on screen, and just becoming his own Spider-Man, but also taking that leap of faith that he always was scared to take. Him finally taking that and becoming into his own was just really nice and refreshing. And then across the Spider-Verse, he's about doing what's right, trying to protect his family, you know, trying to be there for those that he loves, and trying to write his own story. And like I said, like I appreciate Miles Morales in the Spider Verse movies. Also, I didn't really love the Spider Verse movies, but I think Miles Morales is really well written and very well voice acted. Yeah, shout out to Shamik Moore. Shout out to him. I know people kind of go after Shamik Moore But Shamik Moore has brought some to the character of Miles Morales. Um, Also Nigel Jeter as well. Shout out to both of them. You know, both incredible voice actors, very talented individuals, and it's just really cool to see them continue the legacy of Miles Morales. And I hope more people can continue the legacy, whether it's a live action film or another animated, Miles Morales TV show or anything that comes in. Just continue that legacy with that character. I've talked about in the past about, me wanting to play Miles Morales in a live action movie. If I had the opportunity, I would love to because I love the character. I've read the comics. I got the movies. I've played the games. Like I just I would love to bring something cool to that character if I had the opportunity. But, I'm not gonna make it a 100% like, yes, it'll happen. If it does happen, I think that would be cool, but I'm just not gonna put all my I'm not gonna invest all my coins into it. But again, if I ever get a call from Marvel and they're like, "Hey, you want to play Miles Morales?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course. Why not? That'd be cool." Um, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. Um, I'm gonna try my best to keep the stream going. I might end it in a few. Like I feel like I just started the stream, but probably like around the 1 hour mark, I'll probably end it. I don't know. That whole thing earlier, the technical difficulties kind of got to me, but like I said, do you guys have any more San Diego Comic Con predictions that you guys maybe have, or what do you prefer, Avengers Endgame or Infinity War? I prefer Infinity War. I prefer Infinity War because I think the feeling of you knew the heroes were going to lose, but you were just going to wonder how how were they going to tell the story with the heroes losing? How far deep emotionally are they going to take you? And what they were able to do was they were able to take people on this ride of just pure shock. I remember being at the theater that day and watching that film and just seeing all the heroes just getting dusted and blipped away. I heard people crying, especially during, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so well. I dusted away. Like, that was a very emotional part. Just seeing the heroes lose, it was just a very impactful moment. Like, the theater was just quiet. Nobody said anything when the movie was over. I mean, we had the post credit scene with, Nick Fury, and then even then, people, there was like no cheer. Everybody was just like in a state of shock and sadness. And I think I enjoyed that. And yes, with Endgame, we knew with Endgame the heroes are going to come back. They're going to win. We're going to see all the people that got blipped away come back. And that was a very, very cool moment. My theater cheered, clapped, stomped their feet. Like it was a big event. And that might have been the first time I ever had an experience like that before. So, but in terms of like how fun the experience was, just kind of looking back on it, I'd say Infinity War was probably better, but I enjoy both of the films. I enjoy both of them collectively for their own separate, what they were able to bring separately to the MCU and just to the Avengers as a whole. And I really do think we're going to get that same impact with Avengers 5 and Secret Wars. Which I really do. I really hope that Secret Wars is going to be cut into two movies because I feel like with Secret Wars, there's so much that happens in Secret Wars that you can't all tell it in a one movie. You have to split that up into at least 2 to 3 movies to kind of really go into detail about what all happens and all the events that happens, all the events that happen throughout that whole thing. But she said, to me, I can't pick one. Yeah, it's a tough choice. It's a tough choice, so I understand. It's a hard to pick because they both had some great moments. They both had some wow moments. They both had some I didn't see that coming moments. So yeah, like I definitely. And I think even with Deadpool and Wolverine, we're gonna get some wow, I didn't see that happening, or I didn't know this person was gonna show up. Because like I said, if you would have told me before the whole trailer, that I did reaction to that Sabretooth was gonna be in this movie, I would have been like, yeah, I could see it, but I'm like, I don't know. But then when we finally saw Sabretooth in the trailer, like I freaked out because I was like, I didn't expect that, but that was what was so cool about it. Um, and I feel like we're gonna get a lot of moments with that and Deadpool Wolverine, and I'm just very excited. We're 8 days away from the film, and just as a caution, please, like anybody that please stay off social media, because people, there's gonna be reviews that come out on Monday. I think reviews come out on Monday. There's gonna be spoilers. There's going to be tons of people putting information out there about this film. They already are. 40 minutes of the film, someone gave like a full brief description. I didn't see it. I don't know what happens. I didn't want to see it, but I knew that there are people who explain the first 40 minutes of the film of what happens, which I think is not a good idea because I feel like again, this movies are supposed to be something that people pay to see for the experience, not some person online telling you the experience before you go see it, you know? My theory for SDCC is announcing half of Phase 6 and sort of sorting the rest of Phase 5. Yeah, I agree. There's some things in Phase 5 that are probably going to get switched around. Some things are probably going to come out earlier than others. Some things are probably going to come out later than expected. Uh, with Phase 6, like, I'm super curious about what the rest of Phase 6 is going to entail. I hope it's Doctor Strange 3. I hope it's maybe Nova. I hope it's maybe like Ghost Rider or Midnight Suns or I don't know, something that kind of just adds more to, us building up to Avengers 5 and 6. Um, I'm going to stay off social media for 2 days, then come back on it after I watch the movie. Yeah, and like I said, I will be doing a live stream on Wednesday, next Wednesday, talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. No spoilers or nothing, because I'm not going to be able to see the movie anyway until Friday. I'm going with a group of friends, so that's going to be a fun time. I'm really looking forward to that. But Wednesday is just kind of like a final thoughts. Like, tell me your final thoughts. How did you, what do you guys how do you guys feel? Are you guys hyped? That sort of thing. So that's what that stream is going to be. I'm going to be on the live stream. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, I. It's just a really exciting time to be a superhero fan. I mean, Superman stuff. I mean, they just finished filming Superman today. They're gonna, well, not finished filming, but they finished filming parts of Superman in Cleveland. Now they're going to Cincinnati, and we're getting some DC. I think we're gonna get some DC stuff, DC animated stuff. I think we're gonna get like a trailer to Creature Commandos. I've been hearing just a ton of stuff. As a superhero fan from both Marvel and DC, to just look forward to at SDCC this year. And so yeah, um, on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm going to see it Friday too. Yeah, I think it's best to go see it. Like personally, I think it's best to go see it on Friday because by that Saturday, it's gonna be spoiled completely. And I was going to wait on Saturday, but I was like, I know this movie's gonna be spoiled by the time I even bother and I know I would have to shut down my phone that day because I wouldn't want to know nothing. And I know people are just so quick for attention to, spoil movies for people. And I don't want that. I don't want people to be spoiled. So, yeah. Before the stream ends, like always, your channel and what you I like your channel, what you've been doing, keep it up. You're going rapid with your channel. I just want to say that your content is amazing and keep it up. Thank you. Thank you. And Marvel fan, thank you because you're an amazing supporter. You've been here through every live stream, you commented on every video, and I really appreciate it. You're always asking me about when the next live stream is, when the next video is, and things like that. And I really appreciate you, enjoying my content and even just trying to, motivate me to, do content on days that I may not be able to do it or I might be busy. Things of that nature is just really awesome. So, yeah, thank you, you guys and just everybody else who tunes into the streams and the videos. And just, again, I wouldn't be where I am without you guys. And I do this for you guys. I do this for you, and I do this for myself, more importantly. But I want to, I want this to be an experience a journey that we're on together. And I'll keep saying that. But yeah, I'm probably gonna end the stream here. If you guys have any more SDCC predictions, definitely let me know down in the comments. I'll chat up with you guys down in the comments. Marvel fan, nah, you're the legend here. I'm just the messenger here. I'm just the messenger. I'm just a guy who, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, who's just a fan of entertainment, a fan of music, a fan of Marvel, DC, just a fan of movies and TV. I'm just, I love what, what brings me joy. And, entertainment of all shapes and forms just brings me entertainment. And I want to get into the entertainment field myself and bring some of that same joy and passion and inspiration that I have, seeing other things and just kind of bringing that more. Like tonight, I'm staying up tonight for Cobra Kai season 6. Part 1 drops, and best believe I'm going to be watching all 5 of those episodes. And I've been binge watching Cobra Kai, all the Cobra Kai seasons. I'm on season 5, so I'm gonna get through season 5 tonight before season 6 premieres, and that's gonna be fun. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the stream. If there's any more predictions, definitely let me know down in the comments below. I would love to chat up with you guys even more there. But if not, thank you so much for tuning in to the live stream and just making time out of your day to come. This is Jace Live at 5. We will be back next week for Deadpool and Wolverine, talking about that next Wednesday at 5 o'clock. I'll make sure that things are set up properly next time and all that good stuff. But yeah, with that being said, as I always say, big love to you all. Thank you all so much, and peace out.